Yo, what's good, everybody? This is your boy Boss Golf, and welcome back to Boss Golf Plays. I want to sit here and talk about something real quick because I've been noticing it going on for the past few years in the video game community, mostly the fighting game community, and it kind of like, I don't know, struck me some type of way. So I want to sit down and talk about it, talk about my opinions on it, and I want to hear you guys' opinion on it too. So, we all know that fighting games are the fighting game community inside of the video game community. The sub community inside the video game community is one of the biggest communities that's out there, especially with all of the fighting game tournaments, the Evo tournaments, Capcom World Cup. Like, these things are huge. And to be honest, like, I didn't even know, like, I grew up loving fighting games, but I didn't know that fighting games would be a thing like that until I didn't find out about Evo until I want to say about maybe 4 years back, either 4 or 3 years back. I didn't know Evo was a huge thing. Of course I seen like people make videos about fighting games and stuff on YouTube, but I didn't know that there was like actual world tournaments for this shit. It's even blowing up bigger than what it was back then. Now, the one thing I've seen, especially I got into the into playing, you guys know I like Dragon Ball Z and Naruto and stuff like that. One thing I've seen a lot of people talk about and say is that, you know, a lot of people don't take anime games seriously as fighting games. And I sat there and I'd wonder why, like, and you know, honestly, most of these comments I've heard have come from the people who play the anime games themselves, that people don't take anime games seriously, mostly because they call them button mashers. They're not serious. They're not as serious of strategy games as the fighting games that we got out now. And I sat there and thought about it. So at first I was like, okay, I can see what you're talking about, because most of the anime games are, it's just like you mash one button and it's like, okay, that's it, that's all it is. But then at the same time I sat and thought, and I was like, there's like a million other games out there. Over exaggerating, of course, but there's a million other games out there that I can name that all you do is press one goddamn button, and that, like, there's plenty of competitions for those. Hello, shooting games. And so, like, I don't know if that's the anime community's fault for saying this shit, because like I said, mostly I heard this from the anime community or people who play these games. But I sat here and thought to myself, I was like, you know, like, anime games definitely are, they should be counted as fighting games or taken as seriously as the other fighting games in the community. If anything, these shits are just as difficult and as strategic as the regular fighting games we have now, especially given all of the options inside of the game. Of course, these games they come off as button mashers, and that's because when I play these games against other people, I do notice, and like I said, this is mostly for Dragon Ball Z and Naruto, I do notice that most people that play these games, yeah, it's all about just who can mash the button the fastest, who can get to the other character the fastest. And in general, there's not really much strategy about that. It's all about a game of I don't know, quick draw in a I don't know, a weird type of anime fighting game sense, right? But when you really think about it, you get to the pro players of these games are just as complicated. You have like you having a whole array of things that you could do to try and essentially defeat your character like you would in a regular fighting game. But I mean, I don't know, the way I see it is, maybe people say that because anime fighting games and regular fighting games, of course, they're different, and maybe it's people don't want to cross that bridge because, of course, when you're used to playing something, when you're used to doing something one way, like, you don't want to go into a new territory because that's new shit that you have to learn. And yeah, essentially, when you go into from a game like Street Fighter and you rock into a game like Naruto or Dragon Ball Z, like, it's something new you gotta learn. It's not going like with Street Fighter. You got But you got moves, you got special moves, you got more than just punch, kick, and go in and button mash the shit out of your character. And anime games, I mean, you do the combos, you keep hitting circle or square or whatever your desired button is that you got the shit set to, and it does it for you. They do some moves for you. Street Fighter, you gotta do the Hadouken, you gotta do the EX Hadouken, you gotta do the Super, all this other shit, right? But each has their set. Each are in the league of their own, I should say, when it comes to it. They're equally as challenging, as difficult, and I have noticed that these games, I don't know, I feel like it's half and half. It's like half on the community's fault, half on the real hardcore players, because nobody's like taking the initiative to do so. But I've not seen these games be put in. I've never seen an anime game in like Evo. I've never seen one at a huge fighting game convention. I like, only time I've ever seen like something like Naruto or Dragon Ball Z at a convention is for something small like Wizard World. Wizard World is pretty huge, but it's not like on Evo based level. And actually, to be quite honest, recently the only time I've ever seen a game, I guess if you would call it like an anime type game at Evo, is Pokken. Because I did hear that Pokken got put into, either it got put into the finals of Evo, or it's at the point now where it's above Marvel vs. Capcom in the little voting thing for the charity that they have to be put in Evo, which is pretty cool. Because I mean, as much as I love Marvel vs. Capcom, you can I think it's safe to say everybody's getting tired of seeing the same 145 hit combo. I seen a video the other day, some dude's just sitting there, he's getting comboed and checking his Twitter. That's ridiculous. Like games like that can be fun to a certain extent, but it's cool to see something new. But I just want to know like what y'all thought about this shit. I feel like both of them, when talking about anime games and regular fighting games, both of them can be equally as challenging. If anything, especially in the anime games, you have more to work with. First of all, because of how huge the damn map is. With how huge the map is in the game, there's more of a terrain for you to cover. There's more area for you to strategize in when trying to attack your character, get them down to the lowest health. They have special moves and everything. It's not as complicated as like a fighting game if you have to input a fireball punch or a fireball kick or something like that. Or one of the most difficult moves in any fighting game is the 360 triple kick button. Because I don't know, I don't know how people input that shit back with the old controllers back in the day, especially on like the Super Nintendo. I don't understand how anybody put that shit in, but that's like in the league of their own. Only thing I've you know, it's not really like a serious problem. It's something I wanted to talk about. It's not really a serious problem. Only thing I've questioned is how come we've never seen this shit in like the Evo tournaments. But like I said, recently, what is cool is that they have a poll up, and you donate to your favorite game or whatever game that you want to see, and the game that gets donated to the highest, that's the game you'll probably see in the Evo tournaments or the finals or whatever, and that's cool. So I think mostly it has something to do with the community itself. Because just think about it, if the community really wanted to see these games, it's not the fact that, these games aren't being taken serious. It's the fact that if the community really wanted to see these type of games at their favorite tournament, at like any type of tournament or anything, or as big of a tournament as Evo, I should say, then they take initiative to do it. Me, as far as your boy, I mean, I really don't care. It's not that big of a deal. I've never been. I'm a hardcore fighting game fan, an anime game fan, but I'm not to the point where I'm like, this shit needs to be at Evo. I just thought it'd be cool to talk about with you guys, but and that's mostly because like I mean, even though I'm a hardcore player, I guess I'm just a casual player. It's not the fact that it's not. I don't need to see it there. I'm not gonna. The world's not gonna end if Naruto or Dragon Ball Z doesn't show up at an Evo tournament or some shit like that, right? But it would be cool to see one of those games at one of those tournaments. So Oh, let me know what you guys think about this shit. Have you heard shit like this, or it's even posed a damn problem? If not, fucking let me know. I just want to talk to you guys about this shit. See what's going on. See what's happening with all my niggas, man. Hey, I'm Honest Thing. You hoes already know what to do, man. Check the links out in the description box down below. That's been your boy Boss Golf. I'm out this thing. Keep the slongs long, them clips tight. I see you hoes on the flip one. Peace.